You are welcome to Best Entertainment Show with your host Halifax Addo on OK 101.7 FM. You are welcome to Best Entertainment Show with your host Halifax Addo on OK 101.7 FM.
People they talk. Lossy loss. Waiting I love you. I go do one with all my heart. Go no be Boduka. Mr. Money Ginger. He calls this one lonely at the top. A Yoruba boy called Ashake. Say top no you lonely cry me pehosa. Because the truth is the bottom here. It is not only anyway, let me not say what we feel at the bottom here. Lonely at the top and can be a priest on top. And no crazy it is lonely at the top sometimes when you get there. Or more try eshia won't be brain no more hypocrites eye service. Kakrom be dinsi. Come to me in Keno Crench. Na omo top no omo twa mo ho ahia no Keno Crench mo anka papa e be ka twa ne so nkogina president omo bu a wo hwa wo ho a ube wini. Then so much an interest he is lonely at the top but he doesn't know that he is lonely. Me bonidin. Say how no more office no more anything amemale amenta washika amebaye. Hi! Let's come back to Ghana. Wales Bates family, yeah. And Visa produced this one. Okay, so I'm not surprised. DJ Toxic. Onona otumeko bonyum wo obi eje asef no sorry you know. He started off Ghana, then went to Nigeria, then came back to Ghana because and a very important day in the history of this country. Today is 28th February 2024. 28th February 1948. BBC wo ye man we mu. Na nene jina hobi. Nene kwa Nkrumah ese. Inti sa nkomono na midebe mo bia kwaba eba enedwumadia iso OK 101.7 FM. The name is Halifax Addo. Me ni papa me sansro nyame pa. I am a fairly used single zaddy. Enya overused though, fairly used. Eya still zure mo no mo ya overused zaddy. Any Charles Techi Buedo mo. Ono na debi obedwuma na nipa sin pubic hair akane. Nipa rin pubic hair akane sim. Halifax, will they get serious in the show? Yes, I'm serious. A true story. Obia Wayajuma was daily guide. Name the same way. Prepare this unfortunately me, Raphael Adenira, Safa Slabi, George Clifford Owusu. Her Excellency Jina Bleak ran name the same say Chastity Bredo. However, you might be na Eri Akanisim. Today you are kita toothpick. And talking about the daily guide, I want to make us here more than I say no. Me share and I see if you be brave, Juma ho. Then I see a Juma the brutal. Nana is one of my panel members. In fact, my regular in-house panel. On one field leader. The name is Nene Benete Akwaku, or a journalist penning pan central penning. But you see, I'll see what retired from domestic journalism. And see, he's more into consultancy now. My man and Akwaba, and then JJ, and I will take it on from there. Nene, more Akwaba.
Yeah, Hali.
Patro Boko, dear. Yeah, that nyame ase. Oh, how ben. Oh, okay. Electricity Company of Ghana.
They should up their game.
Omunye Jumaniji.
I'm for bedroom say Wamuniama Mudi Ba say yen digitalizing. I'm for bedroom say Bia, Ebinu yes come.
Then it's
My app. Baby, I'm meeting. Changing your meters within a short time. No, or mobile. They will do away with the vendors in the crowd and say, no better be our phone. So we can even start right now. And pay me a Missika coin, a number. And yet, me complaining. Me area, me street. It has happened to a couple of people. But two men.
So say Missika Koya Eji number. What exactly do you mean?
I'm saying me recharge me meter.
And say what talk credits.
Me talk credit online.
Online.
Plus 226. Who call on one? Baby South say Uber toy and I no pretty. Baby South say prepaid and postpaid. Lucy prepaid. I immediately it identifies.
Okay, FM 101.7.
I'm see enter amount to pay.
And I will enter amount.
To enter amount to now. Now I feel almost see attempt to recharge has failed.
Okay. Na omo deduct sekano.
Yes.
Omo fa credit no nto card no so. And still light no buy. Na wo sekano so akọ.
Misa by Kramusa send me bill second time say I fail it. Omo kan say ebia system no na down it will come later and I be bill. It has failed. No. It has failed.
Yeah, country.
Yeah. Many people will lose confidence in this new system.
Abutre. A war. Transport.
It is Libri has come.
Anyway.
It is that time. I didn't feel it so much when people were complaining on my street. But and I'm going to say, I'm for
and the time might be more fresh say o mo ko to creditor emba nenso na ya ti omo no na wo feel say well enya ndu so nti se si adu so mpacho ya
papa
sa kafra nene kafra
na wo 2 plus 2 2 6 no mo hwe otherwise I'm for be feel say say I just don't want to use certain words but it's becoming
Ajubrel. The name is Nene Beneste Aku. ECG for yes, Remo.
Nase mube Gio Bisikama. I'm an 28 February.
Abutre, you remember 28 February. You remember, and the only lady who is my regular panel member, she's here every Wednesday. Her name is JJ, or a media personality, Stubborn Academy member, and she has a segment on Abeku Santana's Drive Show, where she calls it Kotsi Beka. JJ, more kwaba.
Bejoso Halifax.
Patroboko dear.
Uncle Pardon.
Okay. You also have an observation, a worry, and I enkoyenim.
Oh, enkoyenim.
Okay. I just turned my head. I wonder what a production team I have. Beshe DJ Toxic. Who ne pan or pofo. Remember, Toxic, I don't know me a pan on once and I would do. And then Ufili says, me and you. But why are people like that? So I'm saying, not pan on what me no sa, one and your kitten, not why you drew.
Halifax,
yes.
Jackie. Fresh to eat.
Okay, FM 101.7.
And the Kosiano Hineshim. Oh, boy, when you go to your back. Rather for born and show. So no can be to me host to be. I mean, how can you do? Well, me me a pan on I am flat. I think me a sure crap will say obu pan on not ya voting. Eh? Okay. Yesterday was the State of the Nation address on Mampenyin. His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, President, was at the Parliament to tell the country what the state of the nation is. Either way, a constitutional requirement say FBA say onko now onko boya manie. It is an accountability forum. Say papa, since obedi Mampenyin no ye mainu den potene koso. Anti enro koe. Na okasa on a lot of issues, a lot. Yeah, dear, because of the nature of our show, dear, here ye pa. I said, dear, can you hear? But dear, here ye pa woman is the state of our creative arts sector. Na nyamia domti enra mampenyin boso. I would come there. Na yen shed your kayen one by one. Na yen bibi mu yen wai mu jama no kre. Ana enye nukre jama de oka nukra okọ ground say wo ho ampa na de o see eda ne name say the rest of the year obeye ama creative arts no so is really relevant. Say a challenges say wo industry mu enne any solutions no alternatives are or the two genre no is that about it? And I bia enye ne nyina no kan because on to me kan nyina wo ho into, you know, or 1 or 2 areas bikeke just to get it going. Sports for comedy, health for comedy. Yes, so yeah. I mean, by the nature of our program, arts and culture, creative arts related idea, we'll go into. But before that, it is necessary to say, ene akwakoye 28th February, yen kai it's here for the relevance of 28th February in the history of this country. Just before I signed in, then I met this 28th February Obi Menu birthday. I'm surprised. And Obi 28th February. Try say ekade and come over 29th. Try to birthday beba once in a while. Happy birthday to Yao Obi Menu.
Okay, FM 101.7.
Na menini na the publisher. Sika 70 NT and wasi. And I am multi and obi afom ne de Ghanaian publisher, new publisher, na the publisher, na ne share ase yadwuma wo. But happy birthday, bro. I hear you're out of the country on the holy pilgrimage. Baby, I will be a Yalben menu. May the Lord prosper you. May the Lord protect you. May the Lord show you mercy and favor. Mercy when he apart. One day I'll put on my pastoral mindset and talk about mercy, the essence of mercy in the life of any and every individual. Mercy gloriates over the law. Mercy. But go back to 28th February of Benjamin's birthday. 1948, in the history of this country, say when I was penny waha. Yes, in our Jina Hubi. When you come in Chromatic, but I mean, over to me, Akaika Kakra. Why is 28th February relevant in this country? Then see, then Corsi. We are a historian, sure we so.
28th February is very significant in the history of this country. See, 28th February, dear. We can conclude to say 28th February no and no the Maya independence.
You found when they 6th March no
6th March 57 no 28th February 48 no and no and a sparky and a d a catalyst be shame and I benya independence and your politicians no
treachery you
see and when you say Second World War, no, starting from 1939 to 1945. The Ghana for no being so British for before war, Echo Kunye. The Omuko go baby, I friend of Burma. and omko kun wo honum sa the end of the war 1945 no I dey omo buy from the West African frontier Ghana for kakra Nigeria for kakra ni keka omo buy no they came back home poor frustrated omo see council and farm ma wo omo in 1947 February 28 no omo see we debi omo be a demonstration kakra
why more West African Frontier Force for Ghana for omo akokon World War B World War no ending 1945
yes
3 years later
omo come back
still Musika na came
yes with the omo demonstration ako castle hona British
Okay, FM. Okay. 1, 2.
Asraf one okay
nti omo kona omo draw sa crossroad no junction baby I free hot 28 February crossroad and police ni be I friend no Imre Colin Imre superintendent and o 22 na o shoot woman ekun woman miensa one sergeant one corporal and one private sergeant no the agite corporal no atipo and a private no so odatelamte
good
into omo miensa no ne ekun woman into omo incident no see no and the whole country was virtually set on fire into omo ni I friend no titifo no friend no Choboi omo Choboi
nti the working interest say by then no broni na eti so as your man penny governor be
yes
okay
now even though they've been trying to fight for independence you know but that DC you know and nationwide you know Choboi no buy there was some burning and looting and whatever you can think about into bedroom baby no because they almost a British a Ghanaians no say sadia British product to be high and top you
sir
woman am say your UAC UTC and such shops no GB Olivant any nyekika all those shops no so omunto omuniama bio
in fact no benya botra mai UAC UTC something Olivant na den
stores akesi it is malls
to say na I was shop right any one yi
nyama papa wo that time no imported me I can use the word
just say omo kra deba
yes
yem produce wo ha abrofo ya no mo kra edeba okay
see and tobio for mu an association of West African merchants the whole of West Africa say I mean local merchants so omo to omo nyama bio
Association of West African
merchants
omo wo acronym bia na
no the better need din a friend and
awam okay
yes you be akoye awam
just say omo ati omo akọ ye omo modie
you time I mean you make ya akrofo ya isi ya ikoto omo ni ama no na fe de bi no mo afa akiri no mo akoto omo ni ama no mo be dada grassroots for no say oh say ni you know say who ya awam pa who so can awam for
okay
then it became that
Association of West African merchants say trader okay
British one ni ama no
Association of West African merchants into send Abigail Ashley Tong a friend was saying plantain chips say okoka councillor Lutro to ho a on be awam Association of awam call me tell
with time no sa Choboi no then ma yi nkruma no de omo be gi mu a e be chi nkruma so call two prisoner after the 1951 and of the woman say kwame nkruma na nkasa no akwa no amafo don inti no mo ye no leader of government business then they allowed us to form political parties and so on and so forth and then later in 57 after they had no option than to let Ghana go from the crown inti near sparking no actually practically no a year Choboi na a see in 1948
but me bo nene say we see no poten a provoke yeah independence no we can say but before 1948 the UGCC was already talking about independence. In fact 48 the NUC and Ukra UGCC issue statements and
sparky BB and a man nationwide ultimate say one nya BB and Jinasua voice no enko bebia. After the omukuye agbewe that sort of thing. You understand me? And if soldiers who went and fought at the Royal Frontier Force in Burma, no mubanos omu demande omu sikanso ana police ni ba omu de she minister soldiers na omu kono omu so omu gutatu ana.
No, they were unarmed.
Because the police in Nikakatimi two soldier for me and
no, they were unarmed. Say omo feel ne woodie then the BFS say shoot make us shoot.
Woodie. And the whole nation became more or less united against the British.
I see. Inti yes kakra ye kan no so almost see inti riots no start say 28 February no. The old friend no Tobo you know. A course 5 days 5 nights. Yeah. Until first match on Monday. Then in those days 5 days of riots the other day.
5 days no stop burning and looting.
But why the looting? Say Governor Bruniama order says shoot this veteran military for Mokakon World War Bay. Are there other ways? I mean, was the looting try say shop beer be say we a Bruni shopper. Now ya bar there was a baking beer a wood and ya chrono bono.
Baby,
media straff worker. And also Nene would dodge question you. Was the looting justified?
It was.
Why?
And it even paid off for Ghana.
How?
So my country was say and no crown a year catalyst. So name catalyst. And no and the share a year struggle 101.7. And the whole nation wouldn't have been united as a solid front in our fight for independence, for liberation from them. It paid off to Ghana, and as at that time, it was justified. Say, Mwabeji Obi Mai, Mwaji Wamu gold for years. After that, you've come to take over the country.
Mwaji Omo.
No more Omukoye or Kumam. Mubai, and so after that, they are worse off than when they left after many years. Mwamu promise Wamuska. Mufasika no Sumaye. Yan say yan destroy Bibia. Then you had the audacity to even kill us. Nasa mimi lutu nemaka krabia me di funny Wallace Kofia.
And your funny Wallace we be corn beef.
Corn beef. Sometimes a friend eat
tinapa.
That is geisha.
And then I hear in those days products are the wedding. There were Holics.
Yes. Holics.
Holics still were still.
I think yes, they still Holics.
Holics. Obi ya them Holics. With them Holics. And Oxford biscuits.
Yes.
I see. 5 days of riots across this country. Well, that brings me to my next topic. Nene, you better ask. As if was our food, the affidavit, Mweji, the Sena Nene Jinahobi. Onone Kwame Nkrumah Tikesie. Omunyen Koda. JJ. 1948 riots.
I'm lost.
81 was so.
I was enjoying the day because I was totally lost.
Oh, really? So that is
1948,
but Nene, answer na major. I mean, it's a discussion. I'll roll it into my next topic. Won't feel say riot no? It wasn't more of a civil unrest, but a politically inspired agitation. And don't say now muchi UTCC for mpenye no koto mono.
It started as a civil unrest.
Okay.
Initially, it wasn't. I don't see it.
Trese upa trese omubo atipo odate any agite tuono. Omu hu ye na omu bufu ye and omu start ye there and then.
The old British are crying.
Wato.
Okay, FM. 121.
The Gettysburg Road. Eba is it GNTC lane hono no nyina chobo no start wo ho, and then it spread across the country. And see,
politicians no so
and am my phones do mo shame said the country mu de bia say my nya ye fa ho de no same way. I see.
So people now joined, and then it became something else. So 51 and Omuma Nkrumah, the position of a leader of government business. But look at independence. So he said that will appease us. And remember, Nkrumah in the Crawford, I toned down. But Nkrumah didn't tone down. He still continued to lead the liberation struggle. And you're no one but the big six and many others actually. And at the end of the day, 1957, Nkrumah Krana or crazy. But he still eventually allowed his political party to be registered with his name.
Nana, what's happening? People ask, well, if your Facebook from Patro Munshana my Ebimusi or Munsi, the Nene Kano.
Oh, really?
And your munina, some say they can hear, some say they can't hear.
Oh,
and see.
that's sad.
But all those on radio, at least they are hearing you loud and clear. And see, meaning some say they can hear, some say they cannot hear. So let me continue. That brings me to the topic I want to discuss. Enra na President Addo call Parliament for the SONA. Okanyama Bibre. But Oba creative art side na one of the things Okai and Mamin Kaimao, and then I tie that one into our discussion for today.
Okay.
I tie that one into our discussion for today. Safo Simin Country will say one person who has not been properly credited in the independence struggle was the Osu Manche Ni Boni.
Okay.
And you know, he also led the boycotts.
Yeah.
Says, well,
I'm happy Safu can hear me even from the US.
From the US, I'm just sure say. But I see what Mike Lumboom. I thought everyone's texting, responding to what you are saying. And say, I think it's more of a technical issue than your voice.
Okay.
Yeah, because all the mics here technical. Okay, so yesterday I want to read what exactly the president said about SONA. The creative and art sector as far as the state of the nation is concerned. Now, parts be I want to tie that into Asema Basically, say, Mr. Speaker, I believe we can say with certainty that in the tourism sector, Ghana is finally realizing her long promised potential. Starting from the event and excitement of the year of return, Safo Neha. Year of return. The year of return in 2019, Ghana has truly become an attractive tourist destination, with visitor numbers increasing every year. The Zimba in GH is now an established and increasingly attractive phenomenon, which brings visitors to our country in the month of December and has changed the events calendar around the Christmas holiday season in Accra and many other towns. This is not the part I want to. Let me skip Ewa pa what he said about your sector. No, Edo super. My paraphrase if it's down there. Basically, Opa was okay. Mr. Speaker, government through the National Film Authority is committed to supporting the production of world-class content and films, as well as increasing the cinema infrastructure in Ghana and by extension on the continent. To this end, a favorable fiscal as in tax regime for cinema projects, including income tax and VAT incentives, import duty exemptions on film production equipment, 20% tax rebate for strategic film productions, and film financing reliefs is being elaborated by cabinet, which should be outdoored very soon, and should provide another tangible reason for the choice of Ghana as a film production country. Let me go to my key points, the one I want to link to before I come to the others. CNO. Government, through the National Film Authority, is committed to supporting the production of world-class content and films, as well as increasing the cinema infrastructure in Ghana and by extension on the continent. To this end, a favorable fiscal tax regime for cinema projects, including income tax and VAT incentives, import duty exemptions on film production equipment, 20% tax rebate for strategic film productions, and film financing reliefs, is being elaborated by Cabinet. Strategic film production, and we need ubenya tax rebates no. History kakra or if we put such stories into films, what will be more strategic than this one? What does it take to market a country? It is not only football, it is not only sports, it is not only music, but a film.
101.7.
It is the story you tell in the films about a country that shapes the mindsets of people who have not been to that country about that country. Me so no na me call China da. But for some reasons, me who China say in those days. They say o mind bia o mo de bia na America for ba be kun o soldier for no kro mo share dan share uniform yie na o be share khaki bia ni eche bi. That was my mindset about them. Now I'm call India that in those days. But because of the movies I watched about India, my mindset India for the Woko Esankwa. Wope obakra wo hu na men si mepe. Na ne se tonyum dinididim. Mali kuni kanyu. Na ma dia sasa obe hu na wachi me twi nu nye. Ma me think because me go can bibia we can say ma can phone or radio so. In those days, to name call America though, but I just believe it was a land of skyscrapers. Isn't it too late in the day? That's say you see, you better say yen tong Ghana, yen market Ghana here, strategic film productions about who we are, where we have come from, the untold story, and we nebe boa. Nah, for instance, Nene, do you know why I developed a love semi-crochet South Africa? Serafina.
Oh, okay.
Serafina movie. And the crap was to still be unshared. Or be our Serafina movie. Oh, be ya. Who knew Serafina movie? So, oh, that will show me. Yes. Pablo, do you know Serafina movie?
Serafina.
Oh, Pablo. So I told you no, dear. You get what I mean.
Yes,
I don't know what your take on this would be. Sabapano see strategic movie productions. Ubenya tax incentives. Ubenya tax rebates. Na omon beso ombe chawo hanu krabo. They'll be more encouraged to come. Because you see, a lot of them complain, baby, say, oh, I have a movie with Ghana. Ni boy your hotels are expensive, your equipment are expensive, import duty, everything is expensive. Is it really? Am I wrong? Am I right? What do you think, Nene, on strategic film production, supporting them with tax incentives?
That's it, Halifax. And now, President Okasana or Drew Hono, I paid particular attention to it, like just as you did yesterday. And me who say, well, at least, if for nothing at all, was show commitment towards the industry.
Mm-hmm.
In more practical terms, he made reference to Ghana in GH now,
December in GH, you know.
December in GH.
It was Ghana in GH.
And how it has even changed the calendar of December in Ghana.
True.
Before then, no Christmas in Ghana be a baby. Now, himself, my figures be up about the number of people that came in last year and so on and so forth. Something like that. Inti, so who say we need to go a step further to link our culture, our history with tourism. Because those who are coming in are not people who are coming in to see beautiful hotels. Say hotels you can't go one will be that. say roads and bridges and come over be one crew. But there's something about us that they do not know and they wish they will see. There is that strong link between our history and movie making and tourism actually.
Our history and tourism.
Yes.
It's you.
Now,
Bring it home.
Halifax, the day ye history. If ye curriculum more basic education. That was the day we started killing our country.
Da omoyi history.
History.
Every subject nkwada sunya was school.
Yes.
What's the sada no?
Sada no the ekumo your mind.
Oh, how? Mpacho chechiri mu.
Halifax ye time no. History is compulsory from class 1. Into you bedroom from 4. No? Now, you know almost everything about Ghana, even if you don't hail from that part of the country. And who said this? And at what time did you go? What year? And you know those kind of things.
Mebo. Nene mpacho meba. Nene meba. Ben. Over to me. Abwa nene mefa Mike monfa Mike no nyina man
me tire say
they be still me mpene mo bua mi nsa no nyina no sana ebi te so koye press conference
come up in your press conference class
na monfa mi nsa no nyina man.
Okay.
Because almost everybody who loves me sending me message say no cre say oh mic no you very very low.
Oh no. Wait.
Me see manu me son I'll come and do it myself.
I'm okay, Hali.
You are not okay.
All right.
Those giving the feedback are saying you are not okay. I did okay, better now. That is what they are saying.
Okay, Hali.
Thank you.
Since every dana education for a year back or some a free curriculum no nyama okwara no sua ewo a school basic education that was the day they killed our country,
sir.
Yes, that was the day they killed our country.
When I say there are still history students all over.
Yes, but I'm talking about basic level no?
As in the NAA friend or primary 1 to GS3.
Yes.
Because history wo.
Oh yes, history wo. It ubeko akoye first exams na friend no hall no cry history wo. Even a common entrance cry it may be from 2 from 3 no cry no history wo. And it's so detailed. So Mbebisau who said this and when was the Seganetusi war. My friend is a grantee one.
You see a friend was saying?
Say Garnet Woolsey.
Oh, and yes, I grantee.
And yes, I grantee.
Henry, Bono. Say Garnet.
Say Garnet Woolsey. Woolsey. WOLSEY.
Be a friend with Sagranti.
Sagranti war, something for friend Sagranti war, and I've been also friend with Sagbadre war. And I
Sagbadre war.
Oh, yeah.
Open yourself.
That be. And I said, I'm also friend with Sagranti.
Your own. I associate myself from being Sagranti and Sagbanti. Okay.
And then, you know, we knew of the first Ashanti king, the second, who did this, and Sabrebra Ma, Amaniasu Ma. Who said this? What was the history behind it? In Kasimi and San in Ashanti. What does it mean? What are the great in Kasimi and San of the Ashanti kingdom? I don't come from that place, but I knew it from history. So Memenenda Ekan is one of them. Those are their secret oaths, sir. They don't. We knew all these things from basic. Intino Emma Obia Enum Bebia Ofi. He knows his identity as a Ghanaian. When you are narrating or you are writing something about your country, you know what you are talking about. It says Afena Yebabe encourage local content movies. Well, it's not too late, but I mean it should have come earlier. It is a mobile revival industry now. Through that now, it shouldn't just be any movie. I mean, it should be people who want to really produce films that are relevant to our history. Could you believe, say, a country like Turkey? They are the third largest exporter of TV series in the whole world, behind US and UK.
Turkey.
Yes.
TV series.
Yes, TV series. The third largest in the whole world. TV series. Part 1, part 2, part 3 series. I'll bet me actually for the whole year. And they make a lot of money, billions out of that.
I see.
If we are now going to seriously and deliberately look at that, I think we'll make more money. And someone who say visitors now more banopon. Revenue kakra omunya free mu who say some extending it to our movies local movies.
Well, so what's in a year on? He didn't really specify say a local movies.
That is one
but
thing.
or see strategic film production, and then he ties it into the beyond the return. You see clearly what I mean, where exactly he's talking about. It is not movies. Say, I mean, it is well. Maintain this say movies that only paint as black strategic movie productions. Movie deal be share you know say bibini nye beifua na the same old thing. And I name my main be the two ne draw and I mean yeah bre.
Oh, but to them it can still be intriguing. Movies, idea a friend a mirror of society. Movie be a free mass and a buy. Apart from this kind of computer AI type of things, But Africa, when an African is telling a story, definitely the story is going to be about where he came from and where he is now. It is if you hear Nigerian movies now, largely about a particular incident that happened, they add a few things to it, and then they make it a story. We share almost from Igodo to Debe, and of course there are certain he said the Isakaba type, Maybe somebody may say they are a little bit because of the we are blood a flow or more. But if it's something that actually happened some time ago, then so be it. The Kenyans are proud of the Mau Mau, even though many people died in that Mau Mau struggle. But it's a story. It happened, and they are using that big time in many of their movies. It is a Zulus in South Africa also. Yes, as part of their struggle, there was serious bloodshed. But I'm not saying all our stories should be about bloodshed or about, but that's where we came from. That's how we became independent. And then, but more of our culture, more of our food, more of our music, more of our dressing. I think.
Well, so we have a violence history B. Or part of our history is called violence, and it be movie, and they say it as it is a meaningful problem.
Okay.
So now if there is a part of our history where able-bodied men went to town to loot, of course, to loot the department and stores owned by the imperialist. I mean, I don't mind, but what I mind is. So movie suddenly.
Okay, FM.
No, Harley, correct yourself. Most of the movies suddenly is geared towards superstition and I don't know, witches and wizards, and is that what Africa is all about? Is that
so? Thank you.
Because growing up, Ghanaian movies in shed and doors so sa. Bakakra ye numpo. I thought it was more reflective of who we are than this imaginative fantasies here. I want to you.
Yeah, if you say it's becoming one way, I agree. Anything that is becoming one way, too monotonous, but if there is a little bit of witchcraft, there's a little bit of our history, there's a little bit of our culture and tradition and so on. I don't think we should just take away the issue because it has to do with witchcraft. Part of your GD is part when something becomes, you believe there's witchcraft and you believe they do A, B, C. So you are putting a story together, you are dressing people to act like witches. Whenever they talk about witches, they talk about somebody holding a broom and flying. That's what they do. Majority of all the books I've read, the movies I've watched, and the rest of them. When they talk of witchcraft, one, the person must be ugly, the teeth and the see na tutu afi na no na oti yibi etuna na ono go jana se bibisa. That's what they have told us about witchcraft. It is say yes we have our own understanding of witchcraft, and we are talking about it. Well, provided say it shouldn't be just one way. And then because of part 1, part 2, part 16 of the same thing, or me problem. But if there's witchcraft, they know there's something called witchcraft. They or Mankasa, they know. They only would like to see the African witchcraft. Our understanding, our narrative of what witchcraft is. It is a more mobile, yes, a quality and what a yin, but say, be free baby na pine or be pure. You sooner you was scatter a former being and those kind of that's where the fantasy is.
I am here say then won't share so Christopher movie no tuntum.
Okay.
Say abro for no true movies about us. No more per se on portray before ana bonsam ana demon ana Lucifer himself. No more your my say anytime I didn't hear before sun bonny bonsam and a patuntum.
Okay.
Most of the time our horn me if that is what they are saying. And our movie producers too have fallen into the same mental I don't know what word to use anymore.
Mental trapping.
And we also mental conscientized slavery. And we also portray the same black Satan, black demon, black Lucifer. What a bit strategic about that? Because nene minye theology. Bakakra makain pa makain bro bonsano ni unye tainsa. And you know kre.
Yeah.
Say be portray bonsame ne anko be say broni.
Yeah, I agree with you.
But yes, sorry. Na haye ne se nkwada nyina be hye so mo hu ati se broni se bonsam ni hu ye hu ni hu nye vet bonsam ni hu ye fe pa.
Yeah, that is true.
Minjin this say me wo bophobia ni hu ye fe chain bonsam.
Yeah, because they call him Lucifer, son of the morning. Yes, it's in here fair. And that's what the Bible says. But unfortunately, no, biblical narratives being so ama sa ntiasienu say anything negative is black, is dark, spirit of darkness. Ye baby from the something from the dark world, from the black hole, you know those kind of things. Yeah. Emma adenu narrative no abekaho.
Oh God.
Emma narrative no abekaho. So that is true. It is worrying. So it means that when your skin is dark, when you have a alloted drink waka for thing. So no black cat should come between the two of us. Why don't you say alloted waka for thing so that we know that it's the cat you are talking about? But anything black is evil. And that I agree with you perfectly. It is worrying, and we shouldn't buy into that narrative.
Thank you. Into say about sponsor strategic productions. Na yenye strategy ni ya ministry. Mpenyifo amutro movies no. Mumma bunsam no so nya bruni kakra.
Yeah, sure.
Mumma bunsam no nye fe. Onto nyum more than the best musician in this country. Because you see, that is the way Lucifer is. Na yetuminya sa narrative way writer. Ebe boye nyina. What will be the lesson behind that thing? The lesson behind that strategy will be that when will be no ye fe, or dress kama, or no sire, or what talents, or no I will bone some.
If I said to some extent, crano, my who say, Mamuata, who say, just here. My who say, I don't know if there's anything called Mamuata.
Mermaid,
but mermaid now, Modi Mayan. Here, fair. And still, and some of the idea no buy. Young who meaning who a punasi. But they say the person, the personality is half human, half fish, and the person is ladylike, beautiful lady. Anything I am, mommy in the water.
Inti mami what they fiti
comes out of the water, she loses.
inti nene mami what they fiti ye kwada brim still no a lady. Omba brewa still.
But that's why young.
Oh, swa. Anyway, mami nko JJ so because I'm still on what the president said about the situation of our art sector. I'm wondering the situation of our art sector, and then mami njina dream. Then I come back to on this one, and then I come back to expand this properly. Okasa for Bon Rie Kente Hon, the Kente Festival, Okasa for Heroes Park be a Basi. Say Omejri architectural designing yina ntiaka kakrape ombesha sie Okasa for your museum seeing in Mausoleum send a boost to tourism and basically people's interest to go into the place. JJ,
Halifax.
tax rebates 20%, strategic film production. What would you define as strategic film?
Strategic films.
Mpacho High.
Hey, Ghana. Well, I think they're all it's waka, but it's up to movie producers to sit down and change their narrative. Said this is what, like Nene was saying, this is what we used to do. Let's do something and also most of our movies are not on Netflix. Because movies it's not catchy. It's the same thing. If you cast a strategic movies, so it's a catch whatever, then it's time for the producers, the creative art to sit down and then put things in place. Free that danimu rebuild things, because like we said, anything dark, anything black, anything ugly, anything that moja sembia is attributed to moja, before witchcraft, it's serious. So at least if this is what they want, then it's calls for sitting down to strategize everything again. We are moving forward. So I think I buy that idea. For that one, I really do buy that idea.
JJ, we are obia open movies.
Yes, I like seasonal movies. Series like Spartacus, Nikita, 24 Hours. I watch them a lot. I don't do Ghanaian movies, honestly.
Why?
Because it's the same thing. I will watch Ghanaian movie. By the time I'm married, I have this idea, say, the idea or the narrative looks like
Nepaya Cobra.
Thank you.
I know.
And then of course it's like I can't laugh with Nene. The fact that we are laughing together and Nene at the back of Nene's head, he doesn't really like me. Why should I have that kind of mindset?
Foreign movies, so traitors womb.
No, I learn a lot of things. I learn a lot. Mean Dadao. I learn a lot.
JJ, there is no single Ghanaian movie you can recommend.
Like I said, I'm not a fan because it doesn't excite me. I don't learn anything positive. I'll lie to you. Meisha Ghanaian movies are okay. I could give credit to Kumasi movies. Kuma would know. Those times, Kumasi Nyonko, I took a very good advice from it and I've loved it. I wish Senake Benya storylines like that, but I don't get to see those once again. Which I love the part that Mercy Siedu played Mesha on Nanama McBrown. I enjoyed it. I learned so much advice from it. Wow, but Cecia Okosha movies are dear. Sabio enya atopane slay queen iPhones, the things that it's like competition. I don't learn anything positive in it. I'm not discrediting anybody, but I would prefer movies like
into foreign ones I was sharing. JJ atopa wom.
If I watch seasonal movies, right? I watch creative stuff.
Na atopa ya the bunny even the person.
No, but you don't get it. me atopa papa. But my point is the atopa is too much. It's consistent atopa. You don't get it. Eye slave queen nyama. And I say, I dear mini bino. I say, some force me who say nekita iPhone 14. Nambia me cry 13 cry. I am pushed and compelled by force, baby, and but I want to get that same way. I don't know how he worked to get it, but I say I must hold it. Do you get my drive? And that is what I'm saying. Say it's getting too much. It's either sugar the BHE, that kind of thing. That same old thing. We're going back and forth with the same movies ideas, but then we forgot that there was a movie once called Kumasi Nyonko, which was a very good movie that we can still take something out of it. I mean, producers could take a very good look at that movie and bring something like that.
I see.
Strategically, they can pick out stuff for me.
See, at what point, and I want to say, most of the Ghanaian movies we watch, I mean, one yada.
Okay, so I'm actually a fan of Chiwa. I like the fact the way Oma Enije or Yebibia or the entertainment shame Oma Enije. But at the end of the day, aside that me sabi me mama ye barefoot and those things, and let me be honest, me I'm a single parent, me mama enkwa intimation sanya mana e ko be chim too much. I don't like it. For me, I don't like it.
Matthias here na Spartacus trying to party and so what do
there's
you
too
learn?
Much innovation, there's too much creative.
I bro. So no swear, what exactly do you learn from this Spartans? Party
Spartans, you learn to be bold, you learn to fight. You learn to fight, confident, you learn to be it tells a lot in that movie. I mean, regardless of whatever they are showing in that movie, in the seasonal movies, every series, every episode has got something to teach you. Believe me.
Anyway, the name is JJ. This only brings me back to one song. Yeah,
Yeah, Hali, to add to what JJ is saying, it's very sad to say your narrative so one way. It had to take even Americans to change a certain narrative and people's perception about Africans. Edinburgh, for instance.
Okay.
A movie beer. So far, I've watched it more than 50 times.
Which of his movies?
Coming to America.
Okay.
And I still would like to watch it any day. I'm still hungry for it. Anytime I watch it.
Part 1 or the part 2?
The part 1.
Okay.
Coming to America. Because moral lesson.
This movie should about 30 years old or so.
More than 30. More than 30. But moral lesson woman. It just say, and yet obia oko America ohianti
and okoi.
That is the moral lesson. And that somebody can be a king in his country, but he's only going to America to look for his sweetheart. At the end of the movie, Oban cried and back to Zumunda. When you say, oh, there be some mammy, so in the Busia for Africa, which is Zumunda, King Jaffa Jufa. But Omuba and Omumina who say yes, Sikawo baby, if it is a matter of just money.
Anyway,
so why should we sit down for somebody to even tell our story for us? We should have told a story like this. Coming to America, we African writers, movie writers, we should have told a story like this. But we've allowed them.
I think I agree with you. That is all I'm saying.
Yes, so I agree with you, Papa.
Papa. Investing in strategic film production there. It is not only about the quality of the production. So Mudi camera Papa nature and act. The storyline no so here Papa. Eja keshi wobejeke.
You are welcome to Best Entertainment Show with your host Halifax Addo. Okay, 101.7. You are welcome to Best Entertainment Show with your host Halifax Addo on OK 101.7 FM.
I mean, you go around the world today, and there are movies on Nelson Mandela and the apartheid struggle about a global sensation.
Me see Mandela in our kind. Crampono. Could you believe some of those who acted Mandela no cry Americans? Those who played the role of Mandela Americans. And then you ask yourself, what the hell is happening?
Oh, ABIA in those days. Actors in South Africa, sir. ABIA. Other than that, then what happened? ABIA.
But we should be more involved in telling our own story.
Our own story.
Yes, that doesn't mean say we are writing off all Ghanaian movies. No, I think 3 days ago, movie B, Ghanaian ABC, Rugged Heart. And I think I loved it. I loved the way the story was told and all that. But it brings me back to Assembly I can no more last Monday or last week.
Assembly.
About it should be a matter. Ankoma
okay.
And
Matter say then.
Really lambasted her. Or say, or no, woman roller.
Woman scripter.
Script. Now say roller also on play no. If it doesn't make sense to her no.
Yeah.
I'm for a Canada pass or new who coins or can say script to be a year, it doesn't make sense. But she has the right to look through and say if this script makes sense. But the impression is that once it has been written, no, it makes sense, so you must act and play your part. And then it became another thing altogether.
Well,
and we are coming back to that issue now. Let us write scripts that also make sense to everybody. And yeah, just because you are a good actor.
What is your definition of making sense?
Making sense? There must be, she went ahead to say there must be a moral lesson.
Okay. I mean, you are not driving home because
she went ahead and
because
said,
I was saying there
must be a moral lesson.
And to be now what's your baby? Okay, I get one.
It is not about the way. Yes, many people are saying the way she put it. That's what is wrong about the way she put it. If something doesn't make sense to you,
support what she said. She has a right to turn down any script or accept. But from where she was coming from, one way or the other, what we say your liberty ends at the end of somebody's way. So sometimes kasa no kana want to say it becomes wait.
Why a script?
What we say moral lesson na wakasa say a baby free mo, you should get something out of it. But catchy na kase sebe nyansa nima, it becomes something else. Chi kasa ye baby. I'm telling you, oboso be kasa no wait you be na so. But at the end of the day, what she said, it was okay. Say, young scripts are the good moral lessons. I respect that. But she, the old cannot say one to one kasaya, ubeti ubina. So that's what it means. That's the only thing I wanted to. I'm not saying she doesn't have a choice or opinion. She has an opinion, and I respect it. But I'm saying that in her submission, sometimes okachia ontonobu.
Right.
She could have even used
but in this particular instance, so I'll see the thing doesn't make sense to her. Oh, on kind of day, oh, young quine mammy. Now me see, and quine way there to me, no. It
wasn't just
I'm not going to polish it.
It wasn't just to her. They were referring to movies. And it's a big way you movies.
Yes.
So you can't just
so can we critique movies?
We can.
How else do you want us to critique scripts?
Me can't say. She has a right.
Yeah, you're right to her.
Her opinions are also respected. But then so
person who critique obi script.
Critique
in what way?
So I'm saying that very well, but me see who catch here sometimes Tobo and penny 40 cheaper. One, Nene, I can speak to you, but if I don't take time and I say it, OBJ baby, I can say I didn't speak to you. Well, So that's exactly my point I was trying to make.
Say, if something doesn't make sense,
if it's red, she should say it's red.
It is red.
Yes.
Because script writers, or much script be or acting. But the true baby, no.
But me was ambisa. JJ.
Halifax.
Say obey the scripts, bro. Say act, but more than act here. And you feel acting skills kakra. Then so we run and they say we are training. Just be a teacher or even play the role of a radio pundit in the movie. No problem. That is your role. What kind of script, what lines nina, what recite, what memorize. And then we see my main kind synopsis crying and share. We synopsis that kind of entire script, you know. The whole script says that single mothers are irresponsible, they are bad people, they are evil. Would you go ahead and ask that script?
Oh, it depends. At that moment, if I decide to do it, it's my choice.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm answered.
Yes.
Because the way I thought you hold single mothers in high esteem.
It depends because if I am to act that movie, I think I would have a say if I want to act it. A producer wrote it. I would want to put my narrative also in it, so we have to talk. If it's not like that, then I won't. That's what I'm saying. It depends. So I need to talk to the producer. And yes, once I've acted a movie before, Haki Films, A Crime of Love. I was young, growing up. I've been asked to act again, and I said it's not my choice. Movies. That is me.
Okay. And to say years later, Obi Bisa was say another Halifax movie, no one acting. And say, that movie doesn't make sense. It's basically portrays single mothers as very bad people. Into Nama acting now, but can say one can say ye.
So for me, why didn't I act that movie? I think I was not interested. That's me.
Why were you not interested?
When I say I'm not interested, and you keep asking me, and I say I'm not interested, I think I don't have anything to say again. I'm not interested. I'm not interested. I don't owe anybody much explanation. It ends there. I'm not interested.
Okay. Say obi so choice na say obetratre mu dientia ne pa no nye interested na. You say the person should have said it in a particular way.
So I'm saying she said everything right. I respect it, but this is chi. Oh, kana wan kaniya. Oh, say chi kasa ye bibio. Oh, you so sabia. She can easily flow. But oh, kasa now can it looks like what kind of trado.
And see, so see, and yes, scripts biana me actor. Because scripts mbo I said the name.
Thank you. It means any movies nina. Then she has explained herself, say, any movies nina. Our patches says some of the movies.
Into sebi now to free mono.
Thank you. And so Sandy sebi niko shame.
Answer na inya with it. Okay, yanko ye name. Is there any other thing you felt was of interest to you in the president's speech about the creative arts, the state of the nation? Okasafa Heroes Park, Okasafa tax rebates. Anything you want to comment? So I should just move on.
No, to me, only you won't reckon to us. And I mean, I think it's good we are expanding that aspect also because Kenteni Adinkra, they tell us a lot of stories. They give us a lot of symbols, a lot of proverbs that normally, people do not know until somebody asks. What is Jinyami? Yeah. What is Sankofa? What is this? What does it mean? Unity in unity stands whatever. In
unity we stand, right?
Yeah. So those Kente aspects, there's a big we can take advantage of. We need to sell our Kente more and market ourselves. And yes, Benya free move, but the story behind Kente. But there's a lot of narrative a war. Kente no. Say nanomiti say a Kente. And no Kente. Because they were weaving some with cotton and they were weaving some with a rope. So they and I'm saying a rope dieno. Or we are not by it is a basket. Boom say and yes, and it is a Kente no mi peno. And I can think it. Anyway. Look at this beautiful story behind it.
Okay, with the young Koyanim because Halifax Poncho, one share your become review. I listened to the President's State of Nation Address 2022-2023. Mikaipa di Okafa creative arts sector you move. Enra Amampenyin Marine Drive one bosso. Marine Drive, yeah, Catherine Afekudi John the Numsa Fedomwe Yikra, but the office of the president. The Marine Drive project is now directly under the Jubilee House. Enra Wamboso. Meanwhile, so okay, the importance of Modi Atachi your Marine Drive. Omo my updates any baby. This project need do anyway.
Marine Drive, a creative item.
Of course, yes. It's supposed to be a huge tourism destination from around Christianborg Castle, Frenechi, to Art Center.
Okay, tourism destination.
Yes,
but the creative art idea. So it changes.
Wait, do you know that he's? Oh, you don't know. Building that Marine Drive, a Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture project.
Oh, really?
Yes. That is why you're asking that I can creative arts no one. Okay. Just like how you are going to anywhere to go and do scuba diving, Dubai, why no? They want to build something like that there for tourists to come.
I know. So it will change the skyline of Ghana completely.
With its own hotels and hospitals and clinics and art markets and centers and everything. Yeah, name baby as our projects need. Obenso send a message say Halifax tax rebates no memma when bebre because tax rebates no more benefit foreign movie producers amba be shoot wo Ghana enti omo ba ha ena omo boke bia ena omo tua taxes bia so omo call back na ye dia mom. Well, that is one definition of tax rebates. But if it is limited to only that. Mikai, a few countries when you visit and you are leaving, they pay your taxes back to you. We do airports, some do taxes. You came to stay here for some 3 months, 2 months. Once you give them all your receipt, they'll give your tax back to you. That is rebate. But tax rebates could also mean say ombeti or tax no swamao because of the projects you are going to do. It could also even mean tax exemption. In the ABA, wakan. Open, sir. When the spokesperson starts to explain further, we'll know the details of the 20% tax rebates the old boy was talking about yesterday. Well, I'm not so sure I know how we will get there. But trust me, say ya nebe kono there, we ain't getting nowhere. Man can no cry. Because this fraternity we find ourselves in is about policy directive. Yes, private sector the investments no be bad, but the policy directive should be right. Act 4 Creative Arts 4 and can you say by now the man penyin can run they're asking what is the state and for David football 4 aso mo pass mo ding health to 4 so many like polyclinic and blah blah blah. Why is the art sector quiet? either we do not understand the mindset of the nation address, or we feel said, when would matters of policy that affects the arts sector become a critical issue of importance to the arts people? Because a banner say, Obiagwa or Tunyum, so a World Guinness records or Mwanfa Manuanka, it becomes an agenda in the arts fraternity. And when it is about Brian, and it is about you. I'm telling you the truth. A banner say, only when I quack or Suma Tankomanka. Yea, Wawaya. If we do not get actively involved, is it the other way around? Uncle Mercy Lewis, that was a shoe-in. Anyway, I am JJ. Why?
Oh yeah, but on that note, I also want to say happy birthday to Prophet Isaac Anto of Conquest Chapel International Danceman. This is from your daughter Ekuba, and then from myself and Rabbi Muhammad to Millie Lawrence on Facebook. Abena, you're such a lovely soul. Enjoy your day, and always remember, happiness is free. I wish you happy birthday, darling.
Obia Gloria Nyamisha for producing my show. David Pablo Nyamisha was say what shall be asking and producing show no. DJ Toxic or to me born you men if no sorry and Nyamisha was say oh boy nyumpa. Benjamin Kumsin handle our social media pictures and videos. Thank you. And I just like the president said, and I said, I won't blame you. No. I'm the host. Blame me. Why? Our Facebook microphone wasn't the best today. I don't handle Facebook, but mudemufa blame no mommy. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm sure by the next few minutes on best solve even before Abeku takes over. Umenko Peace 104.3 for the day news. Makramo.
Edimo Akoten Ebeni. Man penina na do dankwa ku for the 6 year ball.